right, let's do an update. Let's break it down. So SoFi's down 3.5% right now, and the entire stock market, by the way, is down as well. The VIX is up over 5%. So I want to break down the charts here on SoFi and go over the trade I made yesterday. I sold some covered calls, so we have to break that down in this video. So guys, hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Join the free email list that is down below and get your 30 stocks from Moomoo. Deposit at least $100, you get 5 stocks. Deposit at least $2,000, you get 25 more stocks, and that deal runs out in a couple of days. So get on it. Use that link right down below, or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive into it. So we're down 3.5% right now on SoFi, and to give you some perspective, all the indexes, like I said, they're down as well. SPY's down about 0.8%. We're down about $5 per share on SPY. QQQ, which you guys know tracks the NASDAQ 100, we're down almost 1.5%. Not the best day for the Qs today. And Russell, the small cap index, is also down. What else is new, right? 0.75% in the red, and the Dow just flipped red after being up literally like 20 minutes ago. Now the Dow's down 0.1%, down 30 points on the day, and it actually started off the day hot. You guys can see the Dow gapped up this morning. We hit almost 42,850 points, and well, now we're down about 300 points from the highs on the Dow. And I told you guys, going back to SoFi here, we were at a big resistance point on the 4-hour chart. Did we not mention that in my recent updates? We talked about how we were under the 180 SMA. We got a bit overbought as well, rallying from $10 a share to almost $14. So we saw a big rally, relief rally, if you will, whatever you want to call it. We ran up a good 30% on the stock in the matter of, a week or two. We got to that 180 SMA. We were, seeing a bit of resistance there yesterday, and now it seems like we're fully getting rejected. And look, we're maintaining this downtrending channel that we've been in for a couple of months now. And I mentioned in my recent videos how, look, I'm looking to sell covered calls on this rally as premiums have gone up, because I don't necessarily see the volatility in the overall stock market ending, at least for now. The red in the overall stock market ending, at least for now. And it looks like I was right. We're dumping back down here, guys. Maybe we'll talk more about that in another video. But I told you guys, look, we're up 30% on SoFi. The stock's gone up a lot. Maybe now would be a decent time to consider selling covered calls, because, again, I don't see the full-on breakout coming, at least right now in the short term. Eventually, yes, we're going to break out, no doubt in my mind. But for now, I just don't see it, right? And again, we're completely getting rejected now at the top of this channel. And I sold the covered calls yesterday, collected some premium, which we've been talking about that here on the SoFi videos. And let me pull it up now quickly, this options chain, to show you guys kind of what's going on here. Let me pull this up. And by the way, hit that like button, run the likes up if you guys find value in these videos. Let's get at least 150 likes on this video, guys. Make sure to subscribe as well. We're on the road to 100,000 subs here on YouTube. So I sold the April 17th, I believe. Yeah, the April 17th, $15 calls, right? So let me pull this up. Let's see what the premium's at now. It's probably collapsing. Yeah, it's at 16 cents now, so the trade's already working in my favor. I sold these at 25 cents, which obviously you multiply that by 100. That's how you get that, $25 number, so per contract, right? So if I click this, let me refresh this. I don't know what's going on. It might be time for a new computer, guys. I've been saying that, a new laptop. It might be time. This thing is it's pretty slow on me these days. Well, I could actually replace the battery. I haven't done that. I've had this thing since 2020. Either way, these are the ones I sold right here. The SoFi $15 calls that expire on 4-17, which is about 3 weeks away from right now. So if you guys don't know how this works, right, I'm sure all you do at this point, but if you don't know how covered calls work, well, let me show you right here. So you need to own 100 shares of a stock to even sell covered calls on them. So your shares are essentially the collateral. So if you own 100 shares of stock, you can be on the other side of the options trade, which in this case, again, you're selling the options to people that are buying them, speculating that, okay, SoFi is going to go to $15 or higher. In this case, right, we're looking at the $15 calls that expire in about 3 weeks. So you're on the other side of the trade. And we've covered this before so many times that options that you buy, they expire worthless 80 to 85% of the time. So it's way more risky buying options than it is selling options. So you want to be on the other side of the trade. It's like the casino, right? When you're at the casino, who wins at the end of the day? People that are putting all their money in slots, or they're at the craps table, doing this, doing that. Who wins, them or the actual casino? The casino wins every time, right? Most of the time, the casino's winning. So you're like the casino here. If you're selling options, you're the casino, right? So if you have, let's say, one contract, or sell one contract, so you have 1,000 or 100 shares of SoFi, right? You can sell a contract here, which you need 100 shares to do that, at least 100 shares, and you get the estimated credit of $16. There's a fee, obviously, whatever the fee is with your brokerage, right? In this case, Robinhood, it's 4 cents. I don't use Robinhood, but I use it for the sake of these videos, guys. So you're getting $16, boom, right into your account as the stock, as you own the stock, right? So this is better than dividends, 100% better than dividends. And like I said, I sold these same options literally yesterday for 25 cents. So $25 premium per contract. And they're already down to $16 now. So that, the options I sold, whoever bought them, they're already down a ton, So that's why, again, you want to be on the other side of this trade. So that's what I ended up doing. It's very simple. It might sound insane, complicated, but it's so easy. If you own 100 shares of any stock, you can do this, right? You can do this. Well, not any stock. It depends on, a lot of the penny stocks, over the counter, you can't do this on them. But if you own a big, small or a bigger company that has a lot of volume, there's an options chain for the company, for the stock, right? You can do this. So that's what I ended up doing. And let's say, for example, SoFi runs to $16 by, April 17th. All right, I'll have to sell out of my position at $15 on the amount of shares that I sold calls on. But let's say, for example, it runs to $14 by then. Options expire worthless. I keep the shares. And of course, I keep the premium. And when you open up an option or a covered call, right, you sell to open, right? And let's say, for example, the trade doesn't go in your favor. Let's say SoFi starts running. You're like, oh my God, I don't want my shares called away. You can always buy to close, right? You can always buy back the options and close. You'll lose money on the trade a little bit there. You'd have to pay back whatever the difference in the premium is. You'll lose a little bit of money there, but it's worth it if you want to keep the shares. So if you screw up a covered call trade, which, it's kind of hard to do if you not necessarily screw it up, but if you want to keep your shares, you can always buy to close. You can always buy back the covered calls you sold before the expiration date, and you keep the shares. You take a little loss on the premium, whatever. but you can always do that, So, and the cardinal rule here, one of them is at least always sell covered calls above your average cost. Pick a strike price above your average cost. That's the key. So if the shares get called away, which they will, it's inevitable on certain trades, it's going to happen. You make a profit on the trades or on the shares, right? So we'll wrap it up there, guys. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm doing here. I sold a couple contracts there on some of my SoFi position. Nothing too crazy, as again, we're not really breaking out of here as of now, and I kind of saw it coming, so I figured, hey, let me take advantage of the rally that we've seen, the hike in the premiums. Let me sell some calls here. And that's exactly what I did. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, run the likes up. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the free email list. I send out my top stocks weekly for free. Check out the Patreon if you want to keep up with what I'm doing and my portfolio there on Patreon. That is linked right down below. And don't forget to also get your 30 stocks from Moomoo. I'm telling you guys, the clock's ticking. You have less than 5 days to do it. Check out the link down below or go to stocksurfs.com/Moomoo. Deposit at least $100. You get 5 stocks. Deposit at least $2,000. You get 25 more stocks, and your uninvested cash now will earn up to 8.1% APY. Guys, it's a no-brainer. Get on it. Link down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.